How's it going beyond the benches? It's your man JT coming at you with another video here, and it has finally happened. All this talk of the quarterback situation the past couple of weeks, and over the weekend, the Miami Dolphins, of course, first traded Ryan Tannehill to the Tennessee Titans for a fourth and a seventh in the future, but Sunday afternoon, they went ahead and found their replacement, their most likely stopgap bridge quarterback for a while as they prepare for either the 2020 draft or maybe even eyeballing one of the quarterbacks in 2019. But that, of course, is Ryan Fitzpatrick, Ryan Fitzmagic, as people love to call him. And I'm going to go ahead and break down why I think this is a fantastic signing for the Dolphins. To me, literally, unless you're just obsessed and focused on building the worst team possible to try and guarantee yourself the number one pick, which, by the way, you can't do, this is a great move on every angle. And it makes the team better. I think he is a good leader and a guy that will be respected in the locker room, that can keep the young players from kind of giving up on the season and, losing hope. And I think, he's a good mentor to whenever we do find that young quarterback. And he's just going to be fun to watch. He's kind of a gunslinger. He does some crazy things, takes some chances, throws some passes that probably shouldn't be thrown. That can be fun. And, I think now the Dolphins will most likely set their eye on one of these quarterbacks. Most likely, again, I think Kyler Murray or Dwayne Haskins is really the only two guys in this class that they're eyeballing, at least in that first round. And if they don't get one of those guys, then, you can sit back, watch Ryan Fitzpatrick for a year. It's not the end of the world. I can do it. He'll probably win you a couple of games, but I don't think he'll be great, especially, on a rebuilding roster. But it sets you up, and then you can take somebody in 2020. Now, one thing I want to address real quick is because there's just so much of the fan base that is so focused on this idea of tanking or, tank for Tua, get that number one pick. They're so focused just on that, right? So here's the problem. Historically speaking, if you get 2 wins in a season, you have about a 60-65% chance of getting the number one pick, right? Especially in modern history. If you get 3 wins, you only have a 20 to 25% chance. Based on what? 25% if you're talking modern, 20% if you're talking the entire history of the draft. So let's say you started at David Fales or Luke Falk, who are really complete unknowns for, Jake Rudock, or Luke Falk, who are pretty much complete unknowns when it comes to being an NFL starter. And, either because of your run game or they give you a decent game or good coaching. I'm sure Dolphin fans would like to believe this new coaching staff knows what you're doing. Let's say you're decent enough to win 3 games out of 16. That still only gives you, which would be a terrible season, mind you, that still only gives you about a 25% chance of getting the number one pick, historically speaking. So this idea of basing everything, as I've kind of said a lot this offseason, putting all your eggs in one basket for that number one pick just isn't realistic. It just isn't smart because there's no way to guarantee it. And, we may sit here and the Dolphins might get that number one pick. And I might sit here and say, you got the number one pick, look at Tua Tagovailoa, obvious choice, go draft Tua, right? No questions asked. But that is a year away from now with so many variables. You don't know if Tua is going to be there, if he's going to be healthy, if he's going to be the top guy. What if he wants to stay another year at school? You don't know if the Dolphins are going to be able to get that pick. You don't know if some team's going to go out there next year and win 0 games. There's just so many things you don't know. You can't base everything around, such a specific goal. And you have to have plan Bs, and I think Ryan Fitzpatrick gives you that. He gives you a bridge quarterback that can start for a year, maybe 2, and it gives you the chance to start bringing in young quarterbacks. If I was the Dolphins, at some point in this draft, I'd draft a quarterback, even if it's later in the rounds. I'd sign an undrafted rookie quarterback, and then in 2020, I'd come back around, and if I still felt like I needed a quarterback, I'd draft another one. I would keep taking swings. I would keep swinging for the fences until I hit a homer. Simply put. And I think Ryan Fitzpatrick allows the team to do that. He takes away some of the desperation for a quarterback, because if you don't, you don't go into 2019 draft feeling like you have to take someone, because Fitzpatrick can, he can get you by for a year. So I think this is a really good move. Let me know what you guys think. I'm excited to watch Fitzpatrick. I like the guy. Kept my eye on him in Tampa here, so excited to have him with the Dolphins, but let me know what you guys think. And again, continue to subscribe and follow for all of the Dolphins news this offseason. See you next time.